Hey everyone, this is Layla again with a wonderful short story. If you like my content, please like, share, and subscribe. A few days ago, something happened that left me thinking about the struggles of those who leave their homeland in search of a better future. Today, I want to share the story of a man named Daniel, who moved to Germany for work and built a life there. Daniel lived in a shared apartment with a few others, all working hard to make ends meet. One of his roommates, a quiet and reserved guy named Omar, had just returned from a month-long trip to his home country. The moment he stepped back into the apartment, there was something different about him. He looked exhausted, his eyes heavy with sorrow. When his friends asked if everything was okay, he broke down in tears and finally shared the burden he had been carrying. Omar had been married to his cousin for several years. From the very beginning, he had done everything to make his wife happy. He spoiled her with care, never let her lift a finger for housework, and even brought her breakfast from outside so she wouldn't have to wake up early. He never pressured her for anything and tried to give her the best life he could. But despite all this, as soon as he moved abroad, problems began. His wife started demanding that he take her with him immediately. When he explained that it wasn't that simple, she grew distant. Every time he visited home, she would fight with him, insisting that she wouldn't stay unless he took her along. Even during the height of the pandemic, when he spent 6 months in his home country, she still refused to understand his struggles. Omar had barely been back in Germany for a week when he was forced to return again, just to reassure her that he would bring her soon. She reluctantly agreed and stayed with him for a short while, but then she left again, this time cutting off all contact. She stopped calling, stopped texting, and even refused to let their child speak to him. For 3 whole years, she kept her distance, not once making an effort to reconnect. Despite all this, Omar still sent her money every month. He sent extra for his parents separately, and his family never put any financial burden on him. But the reality of living abroad is harsh. His salary was only 1,700 euro, out of which 500 euro went straight to rent. Daily expenses, groceries, and bills took another chunk. If he had rented a place big enough for a family, it would have cost at least 1,000 euro, leaving him with barely anything to survive on. If an emergency came up and he had to visit home, saving money for travel would have been nearly impossible. And yet his wife never understood. She only saw his absence, not his struggle. She never realized that life abroad isn't as glamorous as it seems. Finally, after years of silence, Omar had no choice but to divorce her. The moment he did, she started calling again. Suddenly she wanted to talk, but by then it was too late. Moral of the story: people often believe that moving abroad means living a life of luxury, but the reality is far from it. Many men work tirelessly, sacrificing their comfort for the well-being of their families, only to be met with ingratitude and misunderstandings. A marriage should be built on patience, trust, and mutual support. Instead of making unreasonable demands, understand your partner's struggles and stand by them. In the end, it's not wealth or location that keeps a relationship strong. It's love, respect, and the willingness to face life's hardships together.